Smile.
Good evening. Welcome to another episode of CBD's Politics. We're coming at you once again from the Dope Clinic. And my man DJ Kazi. Remember to check him out on his social media page, his Facebook page, his YouTube page, and all the social media that he's part of. Guys, once again, I'm Cecil Blunt, your host and moderator. I'm once again joined by my esteemed panel, Bobby Fryer, Duane Underwood. Guys, I just want to say how you guys doing since the last time we met. Everything been good?
Oh, everything's
good,
man.
Everything good? All right, man. Good. Look, man, we want to get into a few topics today. It's been a minute since we last met. Just want to get into a few things, you know.
He what you say that.
We got, I know. We got Duane here. He's back. We ain't using him.
And I've been back.
We have
back.
Nah, you wasn't back.
We got to explain that.
We got to explain
okay.
Exactly.
This brother was a little late.
So we had a poll. We left a poll out.
The brother played golf.
Yeah.
Hey.
We took a poll from people listening. I'm gonna tell you the time.
Nobody know that.
Results.
But hey, yeah, I do.
So the results were 3,100,000 said to dump Duane, right? 3,101,000 said to keep Duane.
No.
Then we had another million that said who. Okay, so after talking with Duane's parents and his wife and his kids, they asked me and Cecil, to give him a second shot. So me and Cecil decided that we let Duane come back.
I just got a text that y'all hurry up.
Hey guys, but look, I want to get into, we got a few topics I want to talk about. The first topic I want to talk about today is the Georgia-Texas game and the things that happened last week in that game. It was a lot of controversy going on with, with the referees. It was a lot of calls. I don't usually speak about referees, blatantly cheating, but it was a lot of things that was very questionable. Yeah. I just guys want you guys' opinion on that game. We all were together last week and watched the game together. Oh, yeah. And pretty much lost our minds on a few things that happened.
I lost my mind on a few of the calls, but as far as the game as a whole, it went as I expected. I had never even questioned if Georgia was going to win the game. I told you before Georgia was going to win the game. But, Texas, great program, great school. They played a couple SEC games prior to Georgia, but like I said, when we first started early in the year before college football even hit, Georgia's on a different level. They weren't playing great ball first couple weeks, but hey, y'all about to see. I'm telling you, national championship. I'm predicting it right now. National championship.
They look, to me, and we talked about it. And I'm gonna let you get something. Just a quick point. They indoctrined Texas into the SEC.
Oh yeah.
I heard Nick Saban say early in the year during the SEC media days, even though he did pick Texas, but I remember him saying they're not gonna come in here and rule like they think. They think the Big 12. They're gonna get indoctrinated.
As long as we don't play Alabama, we gonna be good.
We gotta get over that. We all watched the game together, like you said. And we reacted in real time to what we were seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
And the pass interference reversal had us livid because we've never seen you made the call.
Good or bad. Call was made.
Okay. The fans start throwing stuff on the field.
I changed the call.
And all of a sudden, magically, let's talk about this again. Yeah. And you changed the call.
Which is...
That's
I
highly
never
questionable.
seen that.
Never seen that.
That's a first
so
at
Kirby
any
had
level.
every right to be as pissed off as he was because we hadn't seen that. Yeah. So the question becomes, well, we know officials can get together and huddle up and say, let's talk about this. But they had already spotted the ball.
Yeah, but that's not a reviewable call.
It's not a reviewable call, and everything that took place was stuff is thrown on the field. So we know they saw the replay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was based on what you saw on the replay, right?
And then you decide to huddle and change your mind.
And we've been watching and playing sports for over 30 years.
Right.
A bad call, I ain't never seen a bad call change. Yeah, it's just a bad call. You live with it.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the first.
Yeah.
And so the question becomes, okay, you decide to change it, but when did you decide to change it? After
all the shit was on the field.
You got to watch the replay?
Yeah.
Right. That's like Duane said. That's not a reviewable call.
No, I don't even think it was a replay. I think it was all the bottles and shit on the field.
Yeah, all of that. Just all of that in general. It's like, we had never seen that before. So that was one.
If anything, you pick the flag up.
Well, that's what they wound up doing.
But if you'd have picked the flag up, then you go back and you replay the down. You don't give them the yardage and the first down.
No, what happened was...
Because they reversed the call and called us for pass interference. They put the call on us.
No, they just changed the call.
And said
From pass
it was
interference.
no pass interference.
There was no
more.
pass interference.
It was a great interception, and he's
And
down
they
to
got
9.
the ball at the 9-yard line.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So,
That's
you
right.
know, it's
my
like...
memory is good as yesterday.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
So that's what that was. That was the first call, right?
Right.
Now, there was another play where we saw the picture, literally, of the defensive tackle's shirt being ripped off him from behind, holding in the end zone. That would have been a safety.
And the bad part about that one is that's holding all the time, right?
Oh, yeah, hold every play.
But they showed I saw an angle somewhere where literally the guy was being pulled. The referee was right there, looking at it like this, and you didn't make the call. Now, that's calls you that are holding that you might miss. But when you sit there looking directly at it, or maybe your head, but your eyes looking this way, I don't know, because it was a direct view from behind him. But it's like he had a direct line to see this guy's shirt.
It's like the referees were doing everything they could to help Texas compete with Georgia, not even win the game. I mean, you had them targeting calls, which were iffy, questionable, and then the thing is, hey, Texas wanted that barrel. Texas said, "Hey, we want Georgia. We want Georgia."
They did. They asked for
it. What you wish for.
They all went home with the tails in between their legs.
I mean, there were a couple other calls, and I know
And then you got to remember now, Georgia dropped three picks. I think they dropped about 3 picks.
Well, I don't remember them dropping 3
picks.
There was some late. Yeah, there were a couple late.
Dropped his
late in the game.
I'm just saying the game could have been worse than what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, but those two. But the one that also got me fired up was the Travis Etienne touchdown that he scored.
Clearly.
On the one.
Oh.
That the review clearly showed his knees were not down.
Ball crossed.
Well, that's helping Texas.
The goal line.
Yeah, that's helping Texas. That's trying to help Texas.
But they reviewed that.
Yeah.
And looked at it in every angle I saw.
Touchdown. Long time.
Touchdown.
Right.
Kirby was like, "Oh, that's touchdown." The whole team was on the field, pointed to the jumbotron, and said, "Oh yeah, that's a touchdown." Yeah. They reviewed it and they're like, "No."
Well, Texas got that indoctrination.
Well, and then they spotted the ball wrong. They
read it now.
They continuously spotted the ball wrong.
Yeah.
They got by Vandy today by what, 3?
They won by 3.
They won by 3 today, but even with that, the last one was also late in the game when Georgia was like. Luckily, on that last series, they scored a touchdown on 4th down. Now, had they stuffed us, that would have been probably showed everywhere. Like it appears he scored 2 plays earlier, but the last one was when they were attempting to run out the clock, and it was 3rd and long, and Etienne had rushed and near the sideline. Every angle never showed his foot stepping out.
Yeah.
And you couldn't really see where the ball was.
But
if you looked,
his foot was never out.
His foot was never out. And even though you couldn't see exactly where the ball was, it wasn't where they spotted it.
But see, the thing like you said about that, what makes it so egregious that what they call is the fact that pylon cam is in the pylon. The pylon is the 1st down marker. So as he's going past the pylon and you look directly where the pylon is and he goes past it, he's at that point his foot is never out of bounds.
Not out of
so
bounds.
when he falls, he's actually in front of that pylon, so it should have been a 1st down. And then for them to mark the ball, and it's weird. And I don't want to believe in conspiracy theories, but that particular referee, that side judge on the other side, on Georgia's side, was horrible. Literally, when Texas broke that long kickoff, and they showed it, I went back and looked at it. The guy grabbed the guy's Georgia jersey. Now, he didn't have to because the kickoff was in the middle. He was on the side. Yeah. But the referee, that same referee who made all those bad marking, literally was looking right at it. The field judge way up there, the African-American dude, had to throw the flag 40 yards for them to call that holding. The guy right there in front just running and looking. And I'm like, I'm sitting there looking because even the announcers, Herb Street, and they were like, where did that flag come from? Did it come out the stands? Because he literally, it happened on the 20. He's on the 50 or 40 opposite, and he had to chunk the flag. He saw, what about you? You didn't see that hold, that blatant hold where they grabbed his jersey. So it was like a lot of stuff, man. Like I said, I don't want to believe in conspiracy theories, but it was a lot of things going on that were questionable, so questionable. But like you said, they got indoctrinated, man, to the SEC.
Yeah.
Kirby, knowing Coach Smart, I know he had got those guys ready. His one thing is, before he step out on that field, he said, we're going to make them tap out.
Yeah.
I know he says this. This is something that I know. And it's just like, that was his, because he wants to out-physical everybody. That he still believes in old SEC football with all the passing and all this, whatever, but he still believes in physicality is what wins the football game.
They're definitely physical.
Because we hit you hard enough, we're going to make you tap out.
And they look like Georgia.
They look like Georgia. I mean, to see Jalen Walker,
Gosh.
even Dalen Everett. I mean, we've given Dalen Everett, God bless you, son. You're a young man and you got a bright future, but you had a heck of a game. I mean, you caused the fumble, recovered the fumble, got a pick. I mean, he had a great game.
Yeah.
And
for Kirby afterward, when he said, like, they tried to rob us.
Yeah.
Notice he hadn't been fined. To my knowledge, he ain't been fined for saying that.
No.
So, it's like he had validity to what he was saying. And like we said, you usually like to talk about the refs and all this stuff afterwards. But that game, that was some very questionable things going on.
Because the thing about it was, people were saying, hey, this is the game of the century.
Yeah.
You got
the Super Bowl, basically.
So does this set a precedent?
Well, here's what I think, though.
Did that set a precedent?
Perhaps, but here's what I've always said. Well, as far as this season goes, Georgia still has not produced a game where both sides of the ball
playing equally.
A total game. They still haven't played that yet. Carson Beck still has not had the type of season.
He hasn't looked very good.
Yeah, he hasn't had the season that he had a year before. Those things can still come together. Yeah. Somebody gonna get it. Yeah. When that complete game comes, somebody gonna get it. And if Beck, increases his play, like he's capable of before the season ends, it's like Georgia still got a lot of climbing to do. Yeah. They're at number 2.
You got Florida this week, and then still got Ole Miss and Tennessee.
Right.
And then you got
Georgia Tech.
So
and then the SEC championship game. Yeah. Well, UMass. I forgot about UMass. But
you got 5 games left.
Yeah. So there's still a lot out there, and this is one of the things going into the game that I thought would be effective for Georgia is because with the Alabama loss, Kirby never got down on the players, right? He said, look, I know I got a team of fighters. Yeah. Use that, hopefully, to translate. But everybody was picking Texas. Everybody on the road. You gave him all the ammunition he needed throughout the week to say, look here, nobody's picking us. Yeah. And they just think we're gonna walk in there and get slapped around.
What do those 2 losses disqualify Alabama?
One more will. I think they're hanging in there right now, but one more will.
Yeah, one more loss. If they get somehow somebody, they
still got LSU.
They still got LSU, and but
Texas
one more
A&M?
loss. I'm not sure if they play Texas A&M not this year.
I mean, there's 12 spots. How many teams?
Well, you got 4,
and this is strictly hypothetical.
4 conference winners.
Strictly hypothetical. How many 2-loss teams get in on that 12 team?
It just depends on how the scheduling goes between the conferences.
It's gonna be a lot of 2-loss. I don't think it's gonna be a lot of 2-loss teams. I think so.
Or it may be a lot of 1-loss teams.
A lot of 1-loss teams.
I think it's gonna be a lot of 1-loss teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying 2.
Okay. Say for instance, say Georgia wins out, and they go to the SEC championship game.
You gotta remember, you're only gonna have
LSU wins.
You're only gonna have four
conference
Power 5 conference championships.
Right.
Both of those, all 4 of those should have either one undefeated or 1-loss team. So you're gonna get a 2-loss out of that. A team gonna get their second loss in the conference championship.
So say for instance, LSU goes undefeated. They and then they play Georgia in the SEC championship game. They get a loss. So that's 2 1-loss teams. If Georgia plays out. So you got Oregon. What if Oregon? I don't know what Big Ten. You got
right now Penn State and Oregon are undefeated.
Penn State and Oregon, and you got Ohio State with 1 loss. Say, for instance, Ohio State goes on out. Oregon, they win out. They play each other.
Right.
Ohio State wins. That's two 1-loss teams there. Right. You got to have a group of 5 team in there. Got to have so.
I'm just saying.
Indiana's
undefeated.
So you just never know. It's still early.
Still early.
But
I'm just saying.
And a lot of it will play itself out.
It will.
And the reason why it's going to play itself out because when we took the Pac-12 away, you pretty much say everybody got to play each other. So you're going to pretty much eliminate each other in a sense.
Yeah, a lot of those Pac-12 teams are not doing very well, with the exception of Oregon especially when they're traveling cross country to go play. It's hurting a lot of those teams. And I knew that. We knew that. It's like, man, you telling me y'all gonna fly cross country if you UCLA to play Maryland, all the way on the other coast?
That money.
That money is what's talking. So
it's driving. The money is driving, but it's making. I ain't gonna say making the game bad, but it's hurting
giving us better week to week matchups.
Right, but it's hurting those teams. It's giving us the better week to week matchup. I mean, we're literally every week like, okay, who playing this week? And there's a big game.
Because I mean, LSU and Texas A&M are going on tonight.
Right now, right? Yeah. I mean, and then you got Colorado, Cincinnati tonight. You got different schools that are. But it gives opportunity for, like you said, guys, a lot of guys to be able to give good matchups during the season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Keeps it excited.
Yeah. So your next topic is...
What's the next topic?
What just happened this week with Lebron James and Bronny James making history. Okay. What are your thoughts?
Well, at least I knew the LeBron James subject was coming up this time.
It was definitely coming up.
We throw it right on there.
Yeah.
I mean, with me, it's a first in NBA basketball. We talked about it earlier. There's nepotism everywhere.
I'm glad you said that.
I seen
you were taking a long time to get to your point.
I seen the thing that.
Go ahead.
I see, that.
Speak your truth.
I wish.
There's a funny stat to this. Go ahead.
I wish. I don't think he's good enough. Honestly.
Okay. I mean, that's just honest.
I don't think he's good enough. I think that I understand the pick as we talk about, but I don't think they should have did. I think they should pick somebody else. Yeah. Let him sign as free agent. Yeah. Hey.
It was leverage. You got a man that powerful. He got a son. You want him to stay.
Right.
Pick it. So that's why I said I understand it.
Yeah.
It was to hear his name called, to actually be drafted.
Yeah.
He's going to spend a lot of time in the G League.
You couldn't justify him as a first round pick.
No, I mean, but nobody talks about who was the pick.
Well, second round, it's like you don't expect those guys to really make it anyway.
But at least be an impact on your team in college, though. He wasn't even an impact on his team.
I agree. I totally agree.
He had a heart attack, so
he still came back and played.
Yeah, but he wasn't effective really when he came back and played. We'll just never know. I mean, we'll never know what,
His summer league, it looked about like his college.
I mean, he had some decent games. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. But the funniest stat I have heard was how Lebron and Bronny are now the highest scoring father and son.
Oh, hell no.
Duo. It's the truth.
He ain't scored no points.
NBA history.
He got 0 points,
surpassing Joe and Kobe Bryant. And
this is a one-sided stat, bro.
I think Dell and Steph Curry.
This is a one-sided stat, Bobby.
What's my father's son?
Come on, man.
I told you what the stat was.
You can't bring stuff up like this.
I'm just telling you
this is a terrible stat, man.
Hey, man, look here.
So
he got 0 points, Bob.
So LeBron contributes 100%. Bronny is 0. But
I think Bronny took 2 shots, too. He 0 for 2. He got a 0 shooting percentage.
Hey, it's like Ozzy and Jose Canseco.
He made a good pass, though. Pass the ball to his daddy.
Yeah.
I heard somebody say he got the ball out of his hands so fast, like fireworks on his hand, man. He said he got that ball out of his hand quick.
But in all sincerity, talking about them two, I think I'm for it, but I'm against it because I don't think Bronny's ready.
Okay, explain to people what you mean by that.
What I mean by that is
confused.
When I say I'm for it,
and against.
Yeah, because it's like ultimately at the end of the day, from a player's perspective, Bronny. He just don't deserve the spot. Okay, he didn't do anything to deserve that spot or that even to be picked.
Right.
In my mind. Okay, and probably a lot of other people's too. But because his father holds the status he holds, he used that as leverage to help get his son in the position he's in.
Nepotism.
So and I can't say I see anything wrong with this nepotism because if I was in that position, I'd probably done the same thing. Yeah, and that's what I mean by when I say I'm for it, because you see nepotism every day in corporate and athletics, in anything, your everyday life. So more power to the Jameses, for what they did. I hate you brought that stat up. That's a bad stat.
True stat, man. It's true stat.
But that's what I mean by being for and against.
for some dude in the history of the NBA.
History of the NBA. Bottom line.
Well, hey, it can't do nothing but improve, so if he can score.
Yeah, I mean, if you
know,
come
he
in and
can-
you get a layup, it's going to increase.
can add something
It's
to it.
going to increase
Yeah, I'm
out
just
there.
saying.
That's like the Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
When he
but
talking about
he
Johnny
can at least have
Carson.
something on his stat line.
Hey, it's in the record books.
But right now, he got all zeros.
Yeah, but hey, it's in the record books.
That's like when Eddie Murphy talked about Johnny Carson. Johnny had to worth 300 million. She bring home 70. About, I want to add to the pot. Now we got 300 million and $70. Hey man, before we get out of this episode, I want to give not so much time we got, but I want to, we want to talk about the Dikembe Mutombo. Man.
Yes.
Oh,
Dikembe.
Mutombo.
Yes.
Mount Mutombo.
We didn't get a chance to honor him. We
Yeah.
did a printout of those who had left us recently. And I don't know why his name was not on the list.
Right.
But
Yeah,
Dikembe
Dikembe
Mutombo
Mutombo.
deserves to be recognized.
Great humanitarian.
Yes.
Great basketball player.
Great person.
Great
Yeah.
person.
He
Yeah.
was, man.
Hall of Famer.
Yes. Yeah.
Doing wonderful things in the Congo.
Yeah. Hospitals.
A
Humanitarian.
number of humanitarian efforts. So
Yeah.
we just want to salute Dikembe Mutombo.
Right.
Mount Mutombo.
Job well done, sir. I think
Yeah.
you made this world a better place. You contributed
Yeah.
to this country, to this world by your presence. So we salute you, Dikembe Mutombo,
Yes, sir.
for all that you've done, and rest well, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Most definitely. Well, guys, this is the episode here. We're gonna wrap it up. I just wanted to, thank you for your time. Recapping the Georgia, Texas game.
Texas.
Excuse me, about to say Alabama.
Get it out, man.
I know it, man. So I apologize
That's
on
like
that.
Alabama. That's like kryptonite.
I know it, man. We got to,
Gotta get rid of that. We gotta exercise that demon.
Yeah.
Oh
We won
Lord.
a national championship by beating them.
And the crazy part about it is, and I know we still got a few minutes before we get out of here, but I'm watching earlier today, and they end up beating Missouri 34-0, Alabama. Missouri's
Was
quarterback got hurt.
the boy with him? Did
Yeah.
he get the coach?
Yeah, they let him back
Oh
in. They let him
Lord,
back
I
in.
didn't think he made it back to Alabama.
But the one thing that I noticed, and maybe it's just Georgia game plan or whatever, is I saw Missouri was tattooing the quarterback. I mean, they was
Oh,
hitting
they
and
hit?
sacking him, and
He was getting hit last week.
Milroe?
right, Milroe. I
Right
mean,
there.
he was getting, and
didn't
he
see the
wasn't
game
run.
today.
I don't see him running over everybody. I don't know what our game plan is when we play them, but I'm seeing everybody else keeping him in that pocket, and it's funny. I'm telling
He
you,
running all around us.
Yeah.
I played.
Except for the second half.
I played ball, back in the day, and there was a year that we played in '87. Whenever we played a team, Troy always played them behind us, right? And Troy, they ended up winning national championship that year. And their coach came and said, "Well, when we played the team, y'all always beat them up the week before we played them."
Yeah.
If you notice, Vanderbilt's playing
Yeah.
everybody after us, right after us.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt been very successful. And they played Georgia
Hey.
because they played Alabama right after
Yeah.
Georgia played them. They
Yeah.
played Texas, and
That's
even though they
true.
lose to Texas today.
They had a shot to beat Texas.
They had a shot to beat them, but I'm saying Vanderbilt getting that. They studying
that
all these
residue.
teams. They get the residue, but a lot of teams since that Georgia game. I don't know if Georgia exposed something in Alabama, but a lot of
Shut them
teams.
down the second half.
Shut him down second half.
A lot of teams have been very successful and I know the Missouri game ended up getting, but it was very close. It was only like 6-0, and the Alabama scored a touchdown right for half to make it 13-0. Second half they
okay.
probably, but it was a tough game right there going on. If Missouri quarterback don't go out the game hurt, I think maybe a better outcome.
Okay.
So they end up putting their backup quarterback, but I just want to touch bases on that, guys. So and thank y'all for y'all time
Yes,
on this
sir.
episode.
Yes, sir.
Once again, people,
Hit that subscribe.
hit
Subscribe.
like and subscribe, and tell your friends about it. Spread the news about CBD's politics. So, guys, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you guys for your time, guys. Y'all have a wonderful day.
thanking us
Enjoy.
for our time.
Y'all have a nice day. Talk to you later.
Peace.
Bye.